He's in the bathroom.
He, like, we hang out in the
Like
bathroom in
his
the dark.
bathroom, or oh,
No, like our bathroom.
Mm.
Or the human bathroom. Like, I'll walk in the bathroom and he'll just be like
Oops.
on the bath mat, you know, like when
Yeah.
you step out of the shower. Like,
Oh yeah.
And they'll just be like laying there, like by
Yeah,
the
Chloe will
vent.
do that.
Huh.
She's one of those dogs that likes to be involved.
Yeah. Oh my god! Like, God forbid I shut the bathroom door on him. He goes like,
yes,
insane.
that is Chloe.
You see his paw reaching underneath the door, trying to like pull it open.
She'll just chip at the wood with her nails if she can. Like, yeah, let's not do that.
I should take a picture of
And if I'm
the bedroom door.
And it doesn't matter if she had just gotten a bath, but she loves to be in there. In the bathtub.
Oh.
She likes the water running. She likes the water on her face and her soap on her butt.
That's
she likes
so
to
funny.
bubble. She's a very good bath dog.
Oh, Frederick loves when I take a bubble bath. He is so invested in the bubbles. He'll pop him. He'll sit on the side of the edge of the bathtub and he sits there and just pops him with his little paw. And I'm just like, yeah, it's all fun and games until you slip in. He's not a water cat. Blue was a water cat. He'd sit on the side of the shower when I was taking a shower and he'd just be pawing at the shower spray.
Oh my.
But like I turned on the kitchen sink, he'd be there like licking the stream. Like he'd drink like it was a faucet or a water fountain. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I have to be like, Chloe, stop eating the water, because sometimes I give them medicated baths for allergies and stuff, or sometimes just to prevent like them like getting yeast infections or anything of that sort. So I have this medicated. I'm like, but it's just so cute. I always say it in the cute, like the silliest way. I'm like, stop eating those bubbles. Stop it.
Oh. But what?
She looks at me. She's just like, more.
I need more bubbles.
Her favorite bath, because I thought it was just gonna be easier, because this is what I do with Bella. Is I thought it'd just be easier just to take the shower head, because I have one of those. I should say I got. It wasn't installed normally, but I got one of those detachable shower heads with different like little settings on them.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be easier to just do the shower head and bathe, but she actually goes a little bit more crazy with that.
Oh.
So actually it's easier if I just either pre-fill up the bath, or it's honestly better just to put her in the bathtub before it's pre-filled, because she goes crazy. Like she just tries to fly in there if she hears the water running.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's just easier if she's in the bathtub, refill. She's just waiting, watching it fill up on her, and I'll get it up to where it's like just at like where her belly is when she's standing up.
Yeah.
Where it touches her belly.
No.
And she just kind of just chills out, and I wash her up.
Why are you guys and your...
Sometimes I always forget how young she still is. She's not even 1 year old.
Oh, she's still a baby.
Yeah, she'll turn 1 in March. She doesn't look like a baby anymore. But what reminded me of, how young she was how much freaking fur she's been losing lately. She has been shedding like crazy. Yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with the weather change. She's getting that winter coat in.
Yeah.
But that's like really I mean, at least compared to Bella, she is excessively sheddy.
Oh my gosh, I should show you a picture of speaking
I
of
thought at least
shedding.
for short hairs, it would be a little bit more manageable,
less.
but she is like you had it, like she
to,
loves scratches, and that's probably one of the reasons why she's shedding so much is because she's feeling itchy and all that. And
yeah.
but she's got these little spots on her head and behind her ears and behind her neck, where you can see just this sort of extra thickness, or almost sort of like a new developing like thicker, at least thicker follicles. And when you start itching that spot, all those little loose, thinner fibers just start flying right off. She's just like, please, more scratching, please.
Need more scratches?
More, please. And I'm like, dang. Yeah, it's definitely too small.
Yeah, we got what's food just we got Shelly and Snickers both decided, the perfect time to start molting is when it's cold. Like, Shelly's got basically her whole bottom's like naked.
Oh my goodness.
I'll just send you a picture. She looks so pitiful. I'll then like
bare chicken booty.
Yeah.
Chicken
I was like, Shelly, I see your chicken butt. She finally got little like the pin feathers started to come in, so like now it's just like stubbled with white little like pin feathers now. So I'm just like, okay, she'll fill out soon. I was like, you look so funny, girl. You are really pitiful looking right now. Well, then, like, a few days ago, I noticed, like, Snickers started losing, like, it looked like a murder scene. Just, like, feathers everywhere. I'm just like, oh, my gosh. Like, her neck's all bald. Her underneath's all bald. Yeah, she looks so silly. Not as silly as Shelly. At least her bottom's not all bald. I'm just like, yikes. It's like snowing and Shelly's losing all her butt feathers. I'm like, this is not the best time to...
Is he even doing homework? He's just kind of thinking about it.
Up this stuff.
This guy definitely had a glow up, that's for sure. Jessup, you'll be soon, surely. Surely. Are you really sleeping? Yeah, he's just thinking about his homework. He's not really doing it, but he's completing it somehow. Maybe it's one of those like brain implants. He's just doing his homework in his head.
I'm here. Doesn't make that.
Which start buying RAM right now. By the way, guys. Even if you don't need it, just start buying RAM.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Because the biggest semiconductor company that makes RAM is putting all of its money in AI. They're pivoting, so they're not going to be making RAM, at least affordable, that is.
No.
How do you... Oh, she made lava bun cake. Okay. I was supposed to say, I'm like, how did she even get like a bad luck on microwaving dessert? But actually, that's an actual dessert she made. Are you done with that homework? I'm confused. Venswell, team of the crew.
Girl, can you stop making food and then just... Should I make food?
Oh, great, he got one too.
Mother and son eating pasta in her bed. Why? Well, we gotta get ready for his wedding once the other son gets back from his
bad botnets,
counselor
Christmas
job.
trees. Oops. Is there a book under there? He's got the same thing going on too. Charisma times 3.
Lamina Galba, Vibiteb, Skizna, Wabarani Zimze.
Where's your maid? Our maid is not coming.
It's the weekend. That's probably why.
I feel like that didn't come during the week either.
Oh. Yeah, when I was playing Sims last, my maid came to my house, looked at all the dust bunnies and piles and everywhere, and was just like, looks like I'm all done, and leaves everything.
It's like, what? Really?
Yeah. Almost makes me want to re-download that dust bunny mod again. Like I removed it because they actually seem to have fixed the maid issue. But if it's gonna be broken again, I might as well download it. Because I mean, as silly as the mod is, you know, what it does is it basically makes the floors clean by just clicking on the floor. And then you'd be like, well, why not just disable the dust thing if you don't like it? Well, it's not that. It's just I don't want my house to be dirty so quickly. That's really all it is. I feel like dust accumulates way too fast in this game. And I think they do that to sort of keep that, you know, gameplay still relevant. But you can make dust gameplay relevant anyways. Just like how when counters get dirty, or when sinks get dirty, when toilets get dirty, they don't get dirty like every single day or every couple days. They still have a little bit, they have like a certain amount of uses before they get dirty. So I feel like the timing on dust is a little bit excessive, especially since it's like dust, you know, dust. You really need, it really is a while before dust piles start forming. Not after a few days should it be extremely dirty in the house. That doesn't make sense. Dust bunnies start forming because there's that much dust in the house? Like, are you serial? So, Cass, what are your thoughts on the new Bikini Bottom bundle?
I'm gonna say pass.
I just realized, did I even get the bonus stuff? Because I was given a code, but I don't know if I actually got like the bonus stuff. I don't know how that works. How do I know? What was the bonus stuff? Wasn't it? Wait, I think it was a Goofy Goober guitar. I think it was like a pirate ship playground jungle gym thing. What's the third thing? Oh, it was the aquarium with the SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward house, isn't it? Let's see if I actually got it. I don't know why I'm making this difficult by just not filtering it out, but maybe I should. it's a... Oh, I was about to say, it is a kit, right? Oh, how interesting. Interesting. Oh, I did get it. Okay. Wait a minute.
Chat. Get to cleaning. He's like, I'm just gonna sit here and chat with my mom. No, I told you to clean.
Kids room, huh?
Live in a SpongeBob house. No thanks.
Oh, is that supposed to be like that? I feel like that's not supposed to be like that. But the bonus items are $0. And we're talking about like a guitar and an aquarium and a jungle gym, which I feel like would at least have some value. Because like,
Collected all the crystal types. Nice.
what if I want to sell them? Do I not get any money back? Didn't even make a sound. Like, no money. Now I thought, I honestly, when I thought this was like a regular kids rug, which is I think what they were going for, like the little race car rug. But I don't know. It's not a race car rug, but it's a, it's like that, but it's the SpongeBob one. Jellyfish. Okay, I do like that one.
I am absorbing my emotions. Oh, nice.
I know the reference on that, but it's also pretty simple too. That one's not so bad either. Okay. Ooh, pineapple. I'm a little overwhelmed at the amount of immersion this is breaking for me. Looking at all this stuff. It just really takes me out of this game when I see it. Because it's like, oh, well, look at this nightstand. Surely that can, you know, at least fit in a normal house. And you look it up. There's straight up SpongeBob flowers on the side. Jellyfish. Yeah, see, that one's actually a good swatch. Just straight up blue and white. That's fine. Or you need a lamp. Let's see how that looks. Oh, it's a bamboo lamp. That's a bamboo lamp. Hello? Hello? Sorry, my notifications aren't showing. But I heard that. Hi. Oh wait, is that clip? Does that video show up? Oh, it does. What the heck?
Luckily no longer on fire.
What in the world is happening? Okay, the screams in The Sims 3, I almost forgot, like, actually were scary screams. They weren't like silly screams like, eh, eh. It was blood-curdling like screams like, oh my god. And it's just fire. It's just fire. It was just burning alive. What in the world? On her birthday, there was a fire? And her hair gets scorched. Oh my gosh, look at her. I can see her character's little icon in the middle down there. She looks like her hair is become the fire. Yes. You have to rebuy the cake and everything. Candles got a little too far. Was that actually from the birthday candles? How did the fire even start? Oh gosh. Man, I don't love SpongeBob that much, man. I mean, I can't deny that I watched it a lot when I grew up, but I never really made it further than that. I mean, some of these swatches aren't bad, but it is heavy. Heavy SpongeBob swatches. Yes. I think I'll have this one, though. I think it's a really nice one to have. Just for fun. F-U-N.
Yeah.
Makes it look like custom content. You don't even remember. The sky flower. Oh, gosh. It's not so terrible, I guess. That kind of looks like one of the alien flowers from Strangerville. A lot of this. This is not. You're not gonna see me putting this on a wall. I'm not even gonna lie. Unless I'm like trying to meme about something. Excuse me. I will not unironically put this on a wall. Yeah. Just, I'm not against it. Just, it's not me. It's not my vibe. TV's okay. It's not crazy. Yeah, no. Is this a Gary clock? I heard some people talking about this Gary clock and how it looks nothing like the one from the show. And I'm thinking, like, was the Gary clock that much in the show that people were making comments about it? And apparently it was.
I don't ever remember that.
Someone took screenshots of every instance the Gary clock was in the show. And they're right. This looks nothing like the Gary clock in the show. But I was surprised at how much the Gary clock appeared. It may not have been like the main thing. It may not have been like showed up on the screen as like the focus. But there were a lot of instances where it was there in the background, and in some cases almost like an Easter egg hidden a bit. But you would see it clear as day. I want to see if this works. Yeah, I can imagine. That seems like a very overwhelming experience. Because Sims 3 fires were a lot more dangerous. For sure. Those fires spread really fast. Oh,
Eat like a champ.
Magic conch doesn't work. It just says to make it an heirloom, which means that if you don't even have life and death, it does nothing. At least I thought it was going to work like the future cube or something, where if you shook it, it would tell you something. But no. And I know we're not going to fit this anywhere, but just wanted to take a look at this. Does it actually glow green? Well, maybe. Maybe. I mean, it glows, but it's I don't know. Okay, cool though. It does get snow on it, so at least there's that little extra detail about it. They did add a snow texture for it, but yeah, this definitely has to be. This particular bonus content right here definitely has to be something from the movie. Or something about the movie or something. I don't know. I'll put that in here, I guess. It's not so bad. How about how comfortable? Stress relief beds. Oh, okay. And discomfort relief. Well, that's interesting. The alarm clock does work, but the Gary clock doesn't. What? What? Oh, I guess it is just a wall clock, but still. The Krusty Krab dollhouse. Interesting that they decided to do different swatches for it, though. That's risky. Yeah, they even have the dumpster. Oh. Now, if I remember correctly in the screenshots, that if someone actually was playing with this dollhouse, in their hands, they would be SpongeBob characters. Like little SpongeBob character dolls that they'd be playing with in their hands. No, I'm not gonna. I just. Oh, this is a lot smaller. What about this one? I wish you could see my face. What? These are extremely small. Does this at least work? This is how big it was in the game. It was huge. I did see they were together in this decalable prop. If I remember correctly. Yeah, they had them together in this one. But I think I know what you mean. I think there was one where it was just one of them, maybe? I can't remember now. Oh, for the dolls. I see. Okay. Jellyfish. You know what would have made this better?
Baby?
Is if this light was actually a mobile. Is that how you say it? Mobile? For babies? Mobile?
Mobile. Either or.
Because that would make sense that these will be like spinning around. You know? Could be nice. Oh, Gary's a light? Okay. This light captures the essence of everyone's favorite snail, Gary, with each swatch showcasing a different expression. You can relive the underwater antics of SpongeBob and his trusty pet. Okay, here's normal Gary. Here's like, I'm up to something, Gary. Oh, angry Gary. Gary saw something delicious, Gary. Gary got beat up, Gary. Gary's in love, Gary? Oh, Gary's lover. Gary's bully. Gary on drugs. I don't know what that one is. Of course, your very own SpongeBob plushies with his own faces and outfits. Ooh. They're not bad. It's just they're great compared to the quality of some of these things. And I appreciate that it's not like the Star Wars pack where they made a whole world when they could have just done what they did with this pack and just make like physical decorative content. They wanted to make gameplay and it ended up being super lackluster, but at the same time, I mean, like, no. Is that like they must be reaching out for a certain demographic for this? Like, there's got to be a reason why they've just, and I think it has to be more than a reason than just the movies coming out, because they could have made some for the darn Barbie movie when it came out.
Yeah.
And that's probably more and probably will be more of a success than this new SpongeBob movie. And nothing came out for that. That would have been I would say make the most sense. I think Echo was making that point last time she was here. She was saying that they should have done something for the Barbie movie. With SpongeBob, I don't know.
I know, it just doesn't make sense.
I just feel like saying just because the movie's out is simple and easy to say, but from a business standpoint, if I was the business and I was like, let's make SpongeBob content because there's a movie coming out, they're like, but I would be like asking like, well, does anybody actually want to play with this? And if like, yeah, sure, of course. Well, then how do you know? Did you even do a survey? Do you know your demographic? Like, how do you know so many people will be interested? That's all. My baby's dying. Quick. Maybe I should put all the SpongeBob stuff in the alien baby room. I think they might be one of the funders of the SpongeBob movie or something. Oh, you think? Is SpongeBob really that in the hole where they need like sponsors and investments like that? I mean, it's obviously no lie that them doing this, SpongeBob would be making a pay cut you're getting a little share from that. That's for sure. That'd be interesting. Enough SpongeBob paid attention to me. Yeah, well, you were a surprise. Yes, you were. Your father was abducted 4 times before he had you. Maybe 5 times, I think. Maybe hopefully they'll stop abducting him now that he's had the baby. Hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be
Because that was pretty excessive. It was happening like a lot. More than anyone should. In fact, if they were the husband, Elam, and his wife, Margot, which is the character we started with in this challenge, got abducted at the exact same time. Literally, one UFO right after the other. This is crazy. And I thought she was going to get pregnant. And then, sure enough, he ended up getting pregnant. So, yep. That's what happened. Did you finish your college work? Yes, you did. How about you? Yes, you did. You could probably wake up.
Go take a shower. I don't want you to be stinky. How do you make a guest take a shower?
T-Mobile funds movies? Do you mean like how sometimes in T-Mobile ads they'll like do an ad about their phone and then like, but it'll be like the characters from other things? Like the most recent one that I noticed that came out of the blue, I was like, whoa, what the heck is this crossover? Is Stranger Things, and I think it was Capital One. Yeah, I think it was the two characters, no, two, three of the characters at least did ads for T-Mobile from Stranger Things. They're adding like, oh, what about a rope? How much are we gonna get cash back for a rope? And they're like, can we get cash back for rope? Can we get cash back for 12 pumpkins? And the guy's like, can we get cash back? He's like, what about flowers? And she's like, he means flamethrower. And she's like, I'm sorry, what?
Ask. You can ask your brother. I told you to ask your brother. Where is he?
So tiny.
Go. Hello. I want to plan our wedding. Stop flying away from me. Jesus.
Out of context, it sounds really funny. It just sounds like you just being some random person who doesn't even know you. You're just like, you've been stalking them. Like, where are you going? I want to get married with you.
Come back.
Don't worry about the baby. I'm already pregnant.
No, we're gonna invite our ex. Just because I think it'd be fun.
Who's your ex?
Wendy. Cheek. Oh, she just got married. I don't
Wendy
think her last name is Cheek.
Oh, Cheek.
Yeah.
Interesting name. Then again, my family's last name is Foot. So.
Foot.
And then I just remembered that one of my other family members in my Greek god legacy last name is Hand. And those are generated names from the game. So Hand, Foot, and Cheek. I'm waiting for Mouth to show up. maybe even head, shoulders, knees, or toes, perhaps, would make an appearance. How many companies fund movies? Oh, I'm sure if they could find a way to implement their phone company into the movie, even if it's not in the movie, but they use their phone advertising as sort of a promotion for the movie, so people are engaged into the commercial for the phone company. That way they'll be like, wow, this company's really cool because they're like on the ball about relevant stuff like SpongeBob and Stranger Things. Maybe I should invest in a company like that because they're cool. I feel like that's kind of the vibe that comes off as. I can't really imagine any other reason. My alien baby just aged up. They are a wiggly baby. I forget what wiggly babies are on the go and want to play and move about. However, they often struggle to fall asleep or pay attention for extended periods of time. That's fine.
Hold on. The cardigan.
Doesn't that mean that they're wiggly, that they learn more like physical milestones more easily, I think? I don't know either. Is there an alien like or infant bed? Crib, I should say. I don't know.
Good question.
CRIB. What would you be? That's not really alien. No, it's base game. I guess this one has moons on it, but it's orange. Nothing against orange. It's just doesn't really match the colors I'm going in here. So we do this one. Give him this. It kind of looks spacey-esque.
Yeah,
that one kind of looks a little spacey. A little. Oh, baby just moved. Why am I focused on the child? I'm in build mode. Hello. Okay. Alien being wiggly makes sense. Yeah, this is a... Oh, actually? Wait, what is their disguise? Oh, I can disguise my infant? I thought they had to be like a certain age for them to have a disguise.
Hey, this is messing up. Why is this messing up?
Oh my gosh! Whose baby is that? That is not my baby. That... that baby is light-skinned. That baby is from the mountain of Caucasus. Sorry, that just came to my brain. Show puppy. Hold on. Let me get my green screen up so there's no distractions here. Oh my goodness, hold on. She's currently at my feet, so I don't want to hurt her. I moved my green screen a little bit, so I'm not quite sure if it's gonna look flush, but whatever. 1 second.
I just tried to make this wedding event and it glitched.
Oh, dang, I actually realized I haven't turned my webcam on in a while. Hopefully it's not like all jacked up. Wish I could preview. That'd be nice. Oh wait, I can. Oh. I didn't know that. Yeah, I think I have to move my green screen a little more.
I don't.
Alright, I have no idea. Okay, we'll just turn on and see what it looks like. Oh! It's good. Everything's covered. Oompa Loompa. Wait, yes, I just realized. This.
That's again.
Oh, I was just give them green hair for a second. I was really tempted. Wait a minute. Close. We're getting there. Don't they have? No, yeah, they'd have to. It would have to be green hair. That's like the classic. Don't worry. Max 2023. I will show that pet. I did not forget. Just really curious as to why this is their disguise. Maybe I should make them a redhead because none of my children are redheads. Just make them really stand out. Oh my gosh, I just realized, look at these images of these toddler or infants. Their eyes are bugging out of their head. Oh my gosh, they look terrifying. They look like what a skinwalker thinks a child looks like. Good lord. We'll do... I think that's cute. Okay, do that one. Now, I only got one puppy around me. The other one is sleeping in a different room. So I don't want to bug her. So we're just going to bug the one that's sleeping right here. Well, not really sleeping, but she's just laying on my feet. Oh my goodness. Oh, what? You are like 300 pounds when you're sleeping. You're so sleepy.
Oh, look at her.
You are so sleepy.
Look so sleepy. Look, why did you wake me up?
You were to sleep, that's right. Tell him you were to sleep. Tell him you were, maybe you were asleep. I'm sorry.
I was sleeping, but that's okay.
Ooh, you smell clean. Who cleaned you? Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know if you heard that, but she had a lot of sass in that voice. She's like, put me down.
You being sassy?
Put me down.
She's smiling though.
I want to go
Like
back to
he's-
sleep.
I'm so sassy.
I want to go back to sleep. She's got her
I'm the
paw on my neck. She's
sassiest.
trying to choke me. She's like, hey, I dare you to wake me up.
You've
Choke
awoken
you.
me. How dare you?
Jinkies.
Little snorts.
Yes,
Hi.
he's sweet. He is the sweet. Oh, the scratches.
snorts.
Oh, the scratches. Yes, you love the scratches.
One of those.
Oh.
What's happening?
Can you stand still in my lap for a little bit while I give you a treat? Hold on.
I'm trying to get married and I keep getting this error.
I have a nicer treat that I can give you. That's not so crunchy, so at least people can... You have the treat. Try this one. Yes, hydrate. This one's not so crunchy, so you actually be able to. You don't have to like lay down to eat it. Say thank you, cat, for the treat. Here, just so you guys can see that.
You're welcome. A
little something.
Yeah. Oh,
now it looks really small, but it's like super packed with like. What was that flavor? Like what's that thing? The heck? What? Yeah, read that. Oh. Now you're getting ornery.
Because I want that drink. Oh, give me that drink.
Hickory smoked flavor. Sure. Okay, say thank you. Oh! Did you drop it? Did you drop it? Oh, you dropped it. You dropped it. Okay. We'll try again. There we go. Oh, you got it that time. There you go. Say thank you. Say thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You still like smelling on my fingers?
Is she going on with these trying to plan a wedding?
Is it the a normal wedding or is it like a custom wedding?
Customized.
Yeah.
It's like failed to load save file. Please rerun.
Oh, I know exactly what happens when that happens. So did you go to a wedding venue?
Yeah.
Was it the one in Tartosa?
Tartosa? Yep.
Yes. I don't know why this has happened before. They said they fixed it, but what's happening is the build of the lot or whatever can sometimes cause errors. So literally what you're gonna have to do is, if you can get back into the game normally before you travel to that lot, you're gonna need to put down a brand new lot. Just make something else.
Oh.
But the thing is you can't go into the lot. So like if you click on it and click build, it'll do the same thing. What you need to do is go to the gallery first, choose the lot you want, then place it down. Even if it's not exactly what you want, or you don't know what it's going to look like when it's placed down, at the very least what it does is it replaces whatever the issue is.
Okay.
And then you can go into that lot to build and then change it. That should work from there. But I would always save before you go back into the lot, just in case.
Saved manage.
Yes. I
Let's
don't know why
see.
that happens, but it doesn't just happen for that lot. But it has before. It's happened for other lots for some reason. I don't know why, but that seems to be how I work around to fix it. It's just something wrong with the lot. I don't know. And it's always lots you've been to already, so it doesn't make any sense. Okay. Why don't you go lay down? Why don't you go lay back down? Sure. I want you to bring down the whole computer while you're at it. Let's not do that. Okay, hydrate. It was a oh, I see what you're posting. It's okay, I can post it. Yeah, luckily for you, I have it to where I can see what people try to post when it's removed, so I can copy that and repaste it here. Hold on, I forgot you can't do it in OBS because it's weird like that. There we go. That should be the whole thing. There you go. And I think I also saw somebody redeem... Ah, yes. The more you know. Oh, I haven't done those in a while. Let's see. I appreciate you redeeming these because I've updated all the logos and icons for them to be a little bit more uniform. And believe you me, it took a while to really make them all look that similar. It was not easy. All right, let's see here. All right, giving a random fact. Let's see.
Okay, let's go back to this world.
All right, let's look at some royal facts here. Royal facts. Let's look at some random facts.
Oh, royal facts. Random facts on royals?
Yes. Oh, maybe. Maybe that's what it could be. Royal facts about royals. You know, I didn't think about that. Should I have it to be set up where people will give me a topic and I give them a random fact on the topic instead of just being a random fact? Because I've always liked the idea of it being just random about anything, because it, like, you know, it's open for, it's not limited to a thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep it as is, but if somebody's like really wants to know, like, oh, I really want to know a random fact about royals.
Yeah.
Then we'll do that. I don't understand that when I ask for random fact, or sometimes use fact generators, that the facts are like common knowledge. Like, that doesn't make it fun. It's like, did you know Venus is our fourth planet from the, or second planet from the sun, or whatever that. I'm like, eh. Okay. Yeah, these facts are not interesting.
Okay. Let's see if this works. Let me get married.
Cross your fingers.
Let me get my child married. I'm about to just have him elope, which I don't want to do.
Sorry, I know this random fact is taking way longer than it should. Just bear with me. I'm trying to find something that actually is fun. For whatever reason, this random fact is not fun. And it's all about science. I just realized this is all about science. I don't care.
Oh, we're having the sandwich.
I mean, I care, but I just don't know why it's all about science.
Why can't I hire staff?
Okay, here we go. This is starting to look interesting now. Okay. This seems interesting. Did you know that the color black was once more expensive than gold? I'm gonna do a new fact. I just don't. We're gonna move on. Just forget that fact. Okay.
Why can I not put this down?
Okay. I shouldn't have pressed refresh. These are so bad. Oh, okay, okay. This one actually sounds interesting. It is science-based, but it's kind of cool. I don't think I've heard this one before. It says, while many birds are toxic due to their diet, only one group of birds is known to be actively poisonous. The hooded pitohui, which I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, Pitohui, and related species native to New Guinea contains a powerful neurotoxin called batrachotoxin in their feathers and skin. This is the same toxin found in the Colombian poison dart frogs and is one of the most potent non-peptide toxins known. The bird acquires the toxin from the local choricine beetle it eats. Handling the pitohui can cause numbness and burning. The toxin serves as a powerful deterrent to predators, which is signaled by the bird's bright coloring. Interesting. A bird that is poisonous. The only known bird. Did I read that right? Yeah. The only known poisonous bird is the hooded pitohui. 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 Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think so. I've never heard of a poisonous bird.
Yeah, that's
Except maybe Nugget.
Yeah.
But that's sort of his attitude, you know. He's toxic in his own way, but
he's just
a different kind of toxin. But yeah, that's what I would say. That's about it. That's the only one I know that's nearby. I can be like, yeah, that's I wonder if I ever were to meet Nugget in person. I'd walk up to him and he'd be like, this guy's cool. I'm not going to bite or peck at him at all. And that would be crazy.
Well, he's bitten Frank, but yeah.
Yeah. But he, like, didn't you say he, like, pecks other chickens?
Yeah, he fights other chickens. Oh, but Lord Floppy kicked his ass today. I'm just like, yep.
Oh.
Yep. Good job, Lord Floppy. Well, he's trying to sidewing him, and he was like acting like he was gonna grab Lord Floppy, and Lord Floppy just grabbed him, and then he was like, eh. I'm like, yeah, you're hollering now.
Isn't there I don't know why I keep looking for space themed. I just want there to be like something where it's like a disguise, but like it alludes a little bit to like it being a disguise. Like, ooh, there's like a moon on their shirt or something. But I don't think I'm gonna get that. Unless it's from this maybe, but Realm of Magic. Let's see. Let's see any like moon shapes. Unless it's moon shapes, these are ghosts. Ghosts. Don't worry, I did see your redeem for clarity read. Just want to get some progress on this.
Hello.
Because the clarity reading takes a sec to get set up. These ones are animals. What is this? Oh, growing together. Dang, really? This was in the game? Maybe I just don't dress infants a lot, I guess. Maybe that's why. I guess I just don't really know.
My bride leave? Where is she?
I think we'll do that one's fine, honestly.
She's over there.
Shoes.
Here, call over. What are you doing? I'm
like
trying to get married to you. Please
dark
drop
green.
the coffee. Look, we're all ready for you.
We're all here to get married to you.
Oh, she's bringing the cup of coffee.
She's like, don't forget the copy.
Please.
Gosh, that
I'll
little
reset you.
emote. What is?
My engaged partner is right here.
Oh my gosh, is that another tabby cat emote? Is that cat's name also Nugget?
Nugget?
I don't know. It's a cat? I don't know. What the heck is that gingerbread doing? Wait, that was new.
Yeah, I got a few new ones.
Oh my gosh, that gingerbread is shaking.
Never had this much trouble getting one of my Sims married.
Oh, I didn't mean to go pause. Might have been muscle memory. Oh great, the baby's crying because it got changed. Put your child to bed. Wake up. Put your child to bed. It's your baby.
Are we married?
No problem.
No, we're not. What the frick? Get married!
Alright, let me double check.
For the love of God.
What is clearly reading in terms of card number?
Of course you have to piss yourself. I'm getting so irritated right now.
Between that and having to go to sleep and all these other things that they need to do, like, I just feel like custom weddings are a hassle because they take forever and you're there for like 24 hours and getting nothing done.
Basically.
Oh, you want a clarity spread. Okay, that's 4 cards.
No pee until you get married.
Okay, I briefly muted myself in Discord so Cass doesn't hear me yap on her stream. But basically, a clarity reading is 4 cards. So if you have a type of situation that you're dealing with that might be confusing, what the clarity reading does is it has 4 cards where one of the cards, which is the first card drawn, I should say, represents the overall situation, and the consecutive second, third, and fourth cards represent the possible contributing factors. The clarity spread offers a look into the overall scenario to greater or lesser degrees, fleshing out the narrative. The 3 cards of the contributing factors appear in no particular order. It's up to you to decide how they play out or how they play a role in the situation. I'd say look at these contributing factors as sort of like subtle forces and how they weave into the bigger picture. Maybe if they start stirring up the pot, and maybe it's created a ripple. But the first card represents the most powerful in this particular reading. Okay, let me go ahead and shuffle the deck real quick. I don't know if I still have not my cheat sheet. What did I call it again? Because what I did was I kind of did a little bit of research on each card in the deck, just to kind of get an idea of what each card may or may not represent. In this case, the deck doesn't really focus on reverse or upside down versions. So if the card were to appear to me reversed or upside down, I don't count that as anything significant. It's strictly just the card itself, whatever the value of it is. But let me make sure I don't have that saved somewhere. If I do. I know at one point I had it saved somewhere, but I wonder if I put it here. I know it was in my notes, but I may not have it anymore. That's all I'm saying. It could have disappeared. But it's okay. I kind of have a more or less an idea. That's fine. Ads. Okay, we'll wait a moment. Should be coming back here in a minute or so. We'll wait for the ads to end and then we'll... While I do that, I'm gonna shuffle the cards. Please. Your first card. I'm kidding. But think about that situation, by the way. Max 23. Think about that situation. If you want, yes, yeah. Let me wait till the ads come back because I'm not quite sure if the ads. Sometimes they play the same time for everyone, but sometimes they don't. So I'm gonna wait a little bit until it says it's done. Sometimes there's always a little bit of a delay. So wait a few more seconds here while I shuffle this deck a little bit more. Not an expert shuffler, but I definitely shuffle with intent. Looks like ads might be over. I've given it a little bit, few seconds after, so everyone should be back from ads. So if you are back from ads, Max 2023, if you feel comfortable sharing, because this is a clarity reading, it focuses on a specific type of situation. If you feel comfortable sharing about a situation that you might need a little bit more clarity on, it doesn't have to be very detailed or anything. It could be something as simple as like job, friends, home life, vacation, or next year's. I don't know. Not necessarily a time frame. I meant to say like a situation. So anything that's like in your life, maybe more socially grounded. Maybe like you're worried about a promotion, or maybe you're worried about a move, or you're having difficulty in school, or you're not sure about You're trying to decide your degree, you know, things like that. There's some clarity if I should stay at my current apartment complex or move to a different one. Okay. So this is a clarity reading about a move. About a move. Oh, cute. Is that a little boop prop? Cute. Okay. All right. So with the intent, we're kind of going to shuffle the cards here a little bit. Just thinking about it. I like to close my eyes for extra secretiveness. Makes me feel like I am also there with you, because you can't see the cards and neither can I. Being shuffled. Okay. Alright, let me make some desk space here, because I'm kind of like... I just realized when I pulled out the tarot deck stuff, I forgot like how many pieces I have to take apart just to be able to open the actual box, because the actual card box itself is like 2 or 3 pieces just to get the cards out, and then the actual book is like its own little sleeve. So let me just put that over here. I'll keep the book nearby in case I need it. Here we go. But I'll show you the cards on screen. Like I'll do like this on the screen so you can see the card. But after I show you them, I'm going to place them down on my desk here, just so helps me remember the explanation. But generally, for those of you who have not seen me do a reading before, these tend to take a little bit of time. So if you're all right with that, if you're all right just to hang out a little bit, you're not be focusing on the game right now. We focus a little more on the tarot reading, because I believe that if you're focused on something like this, you're getting the right answers, or at least an answer. All right, here we go. Moving down apartment. Possible apprehension. Worrying about tying up loose ends. Maybe worrying about leaving things behind. Maybe unsure about what you're going into. Thinking about all the things that people might be thinking about when it comes to moving. Am I financially able to do it? Am I going to be farther away from family or friends? Is it better for work? Or is it not better for work? What is my motivation for moving out? Is it mostly for family? Is it mostly for work? Is it for my personal thing? Any reasons are perfectly fine, but there's always a reason everyone has. Let's see. Clarity on moving out. Okay. That was the final shuffle. Okay. Now you saw the cards. They're all in there. Okay. First card. I pulled it. I set the deck aside real quick. Alright, and before I even look at it, I'm going to show you. So, I'm going to kind of slide it up here like this. What the heck is that? Oh, I think that's that is the 3 of Swords. And what I really like about this tarot deck is the visuals on the cards are actually really good at expressing what they mean. So of course, obviously it's swords, but what you can see about the swords is they're not just 3 swords, but they're sort of being tied up messily, almost in no real way, almost like it's trying to be restrained or let me see. Let me get a little better look at this. Oh, okay. There's a detail I did not notice. So it looks like 3 different styles of swords. They're all swords, very sharp. But if you look at the hilts, notice there are 3 very different hilts. Now that can mean any number of things, but to me what that means is there could be maybe literally 3, the number 3, or it could just represent variety, maybe an assortment of something. We're going to get into a little bit more detail, but I'm just kind of expressing the images here, what I'm seeing here. What I thought this was more rope down here is actually what could be blood, which is kind of crazy. Usually they don't associate blood with knives in the tarot deck. They try not to be too literal or too, how's the word, is too on the nose, so to speak, because people think of knives or swords. They think of cutting, you know, like or like stabbing, you know, things like that. It's a weapon basically, but normally they don't go as little as this. So it's interesting that they have like a little bit of what looks to be possibly blood, which happens to be the same color as this. But before we make any assumptions, before we go on a rant, all right, Cass, you have a good night. We're gonna actually go over. I like to look at my notes here, which are separate notes. These aren't the same ones that I had before. Get out of here! Shoo! You're not a part of this expressed horseman ankle. Anyways, as I was saying, this is the Three of Swords. Night dream weird. Oh, I said night. Dream weird. Alrighty. Alright. So here we have the Three of Swords. So here we have oh, okay. So I'm referencing something. I just realized that I have notes in my actual book. I forgot that I wrote in the book. I'm going to read those. Because the book has its own meanings, but I like to have a little bit more nuance to it. I feel like they're a little bit too specific. But in this case, I feel like my notes are... I like my... Okay. Three of Swords. I'm going to read out a few words here. They might shock you, okay? 3 words, or 3 swords. Ooh, wait a minute. 3 words, 3 swords. Interesting that I just said that. 3 words. Betrayal, heartbreak, turmoil. Possibly, maybe all 3. It depends on how you take it. Maybe you feel like all of these things are happening at the same time together. Maybe you feel like you're being betrayed. Maybe you are the betrayer. You know, this isn't a one-sided card. Maybe you're heartbroken. Maybe you're the heartbreaker. Maybe you're in turmoil. Maybe you know someone who's in turmoil and may possibly be the cause. I don't know. But you may be aware in your situation. Now, this is what this represents, by the way. Remember, number 1, the first card that I draw, represents the overall situation. This is the most powerful card in this particular reading, okay? So take this one more than the other 3, okay? Which will be the contributing factors. But here, I have written down, although I'll sort of sprinkle in my own thoughts based off of the situation here we're talking about. But the Three of Swords, when drawn, can often look dark and complex. I'll bring it a little bit closer. It obviously is not a very welcoming sight to see knives twisted up in a rope with a little bit of something going on the bottom there. But here's the key word you need to take away. Entanglement. Entanglement. Confusion. My advice is don't try to make any decisions while in this state. Wait for your heart and spirit to mend. So that's interesting. That's what my notes say here. So what this is telling me is that you're currently in a situation where you may be experiencing betrayal, you may be experiencing heartbreak, you may be experiencing turmoils, you may be experiencing people lying, you may be experiencing cheating or confusion. Very emotional, this card is. Very emotional. But this card, out of anything, if you don't take anything else, remember anything else I said, entanglement. Okay. As you can see, the card shows there is no neat way that these threads, ropes, whatever you want to call them, are entangling these swords together. It is very confusing. It is very complicated. And in some ways, it almost looks kind of violent. So I feel like I kind of want to go off on my notes here a little bit, where I mention about not making any decisions while in this state. Perhaps maybe you're thinking about moving and it could be based off of emotion. Maybe take a second back and realize, what is motivating you to move? What's the very first thing that comes into mind? Now, obviously, you don't have to answer that. That's something you ask yourself. But what I would say is, if you imagine yourself continuing to be where you are, and you imagine yourself like, okay, I've decided to stay where I am. If your very next thought after that is whatever made you think about leaving in the first place, whether that may be a person, whether that may be an event that happens, whether that may be, maybe it's the place itself, and then you start, backtracking. You're like, wait, maybe I kind of want to move. And really try to understand these motivations. Try to understand what exactly is pushing me towards this. It could be something as simple as saying, oh, well, I just want to move to a new place. I just not really feeling this place and this and that. But even something as simple as that, there's always that little bit of hidden motivation, is what I like to call it. So think about it. Even if you're saying something as simple as like, it's not my vibe. What is your vibe? Maybe you could say, oh, well, my vibe is, more windows, or less stories. Maybe it's you're not on maybe it's a really high rise apartment, Maybe it's just something as simple as that. And think, okay, well then ask yourself again, well, why don't I like the fact that it's, why do I want to leave because it's this? Ask yourself questions you think people might ask you if you were to say something. Like, let's say if there's someone in your life that you're worried about asking or revealing this information. There may not be, but just imagine that there might be somebody in your life that may be impacted from this change. Other than you, in this case, because the idea is you want to think about some questions you think that they might ask. And those questions, you should think about asking them yourself, not in such a way that makes you change your mind, like, oh, or they're going to ask me questions about, they're going to try to convince me to stay or maybe push me to leave. But don't think about questions like that. Think about questions about why. Think more why questions. More questions that requires more of an answer out of you than an answer out of them. So, for example, like I said, this may not apply to you, but just for example, if you say, you know, oh, I want to leave because the area is way too populated. You know, there's so many people around, the traffic's crazy, or maybe there just isn't enough people around. It feels like a ghost town. Maybe there just isn't a lot of places around, not a lot of people to mingle with, whatever reason. Think about, well, why is it so important to me that I want to live in a place that's more populated or less populated? Or why is it so important to me to live in a place that's one story or multiple stories? Or why do I want to live in a place that has more light or less light? Or why do I want to move to a place that's more expensive or less expensive? And answer, basically, in doing so, what you're doing is you're answering your own questions, which does sound a little silly, but what you're doing is you're revealing almost like a hidden answer that's already an answer you know, but isn't quite obvious. Because every person has these sort of instinctive feelings about everything. You could call it a gut feeling, or I guess what the kids nowadays call vibe. Any sort of reason where your body may sort of involuntarily, and in some cases irrationally, have these sort of reactions to certain things. And sometimes in the moment, you might be able to be aware of it, but afterwards, it's sort of masked behind a sort of justifiable reason or logical reason that you can tell other people so that they don't have to ask those deeper questions and make you feel a little, more vulnerable to asking personal questions like that. Keeping it light and saying, oh, I don't really want to tell them that I don't like stairs because they may think that I'm this and they think that. Or I don't really like that I want to be a less populated area because they'd be like, oh, well, they have many reasons why you should stay. Da, da, da. Any sort of convoluted reason why you might want to reformat that reason than what originally it was. So like I said, make sure that you're not entangled. Make sure that this decision that you're doing, no matter how you make it, and like I said, this whole thing could not even apply to you. Maybe you're not entangled. Maybe you're thinking perfectly logical. And this card is simply a reminder to maintain that focus. Maintain it in such a way where you'll be making those smart decisions. Sorry, I had to turn this music down. It's getting way too loud. Hold on. I could turn it out a little bit more gradual than that. Sorry. There we go. But let me just go ahead and close out on this particular card. We have 3 more cards to go through, and those ones don't take as long to explain because those are more contributing factors than the actual main situation. But like I said, main takeaway, entanglement. Don't think emotionally, think rationally, and find your sources of motivation. It could be a hidden motivation that you may not be aware of or used to be aware of, but just aren't so much anymore. Just understand yourself, listen to yourself, find the deeper meaning, the deeper reason, and untangle yourself. And you may just actually get to find out the real reason that you're thinking about moving, or perhaps maybe you might find out that it might be unjustified. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm thinking irrationally, or I think if I do this based off of my emotions, I might be putting myself in a difficult spot. Or like I said, you may not be thinking emotionally at all. You might be thinking very perfectly rational. And this is, like I said, just a reminder to continue that. Okay. Put my card here. We're going to move on to the next card. Now I'm going to be pulling 3 cards consecutively. I'm not going to pull a card, show it, and then talk about it. I'm pulling 3 cards. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. But this will be the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th card in this reading, okay? And we're going to sort of touch on them each a little bit because, like I said, there's 3 cards. So we're not going to do a long-winded explanation like that one. We're just kind of you know, this could be this could be that kind of thing. Okay. All right. So I pulled the first card. Like I said, they're face down for me, so I don't see them. Second and third card here. Perfect. All right. And the way they are listed to me, I have them set just like how clear reading. So it's one card on top and then 1, 2, 3 cards on the bottom, sort of like a pyramid shape, except with cards. So it's 1 on the top and 3 underneath. I'm going to be reading from left to right in terms of the cards that are face down. I'm going to start on the card the leftmost, which will be the second. Then the third is the middle, and fourth is the farmost on the right, with the first card being in the middle, but on top of the middle bottom card, if that makes sense. For those of you following at home, in your own tarot reading deck. Okay. All right, number 2. Okay, Mother of Wands. Okay. Now, I will give a little bit of description about the cards because there are a lot to look at. So we'll take a second here to give your initial glance. I'm not going to say anything about what it is. You just kind of have to just glance at yourself. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, okay, yeah. Mother of Wands. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to kind of bring the card back a little bit. Oh, look at that funky little thing it's doing on my screen. Okay. Now just bear with me while I find my notes here. Now, do note that the family tarot is a little bit more powerful than the number tarots. So like 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands, those are numbered tarots. Family tarots are a little bit higher. They're not quite major arcana. They're still minor arcana, but they should have a little bit more weight carried to them than the numbers. Okay, so this is a Mother of Wands. Okay, so keep that in mind. Mother of Wands. And it also plays on the hierarchy of a family as well. So obviously you have, and this is just how they do it in order. No particular order. You have the daughter, you have the son, you have the father. I don't think I'm doing this in order anyways, so. And, there you go, I think I found it. And the Mother of Wands. Yeah. Daughter, son, mother, father. But today we're going to be looking at the Mother of Wands. Mother of Wands. Obviously, it's a snake with what looks to be enwrapped or sort of protecting their eggs. But what you also notice is there's this big old stick that goes right through it. Now, in this particular deck, the way the deck artist represents the wands is with sticks. So in this case, that's why there's a stick in here, because it is a part of the wands. The wands is a stick. And the Mother of Wands is protecting her young, which ties a lot with the meaning of the card. A few things to note. Like I said, I always give adjectives to describe the card a little bit before going into it. So like I said, not long-winded or anything, just gonna go right through it, okay? So Mother of Wands represents attractiveness. It also represents domestication or domesticism, or maybe just simply the word domestic. Can also represent vibrancy or being vibrant. The card itself represents a vibrant woman and a happy mother. For the Mother of Wands, it represents a family that comes first in her world. She's very protective of it and is the dominant parent within the home. Though proud and determined, she has enough grace and beauty that you'd hardly notice her forceful nature. Oftentimes, she has overcome great pain or trauma in her life. It's important not to get on her bad side. So If this means anything to you, this would be considered a contributing factor, whether it is a direct contributing factor, indirect, or something that may be a piece of the puzzle that when it comes to that decision of moving. Maybe it could be a mother figure. I mean, technically, the card leans a little bit more towards a feminine parental figure. So that's the best way I can describe this card. Is that's kind of, it's a specifically a protective, feminine, parental figure in this case. So, because like I said, it carries a little bit more weight, so the definitions are a little bit more specific. So it's not just like, oh, it could also be the father, it could also be the son, or it could also be the daughter, it could also be the grandma. It's pretty much any sort of parental feminine figure. It could be grandma, could be aunt, maybe even big sister, possibly. But anything that sort of inhibits a mother who has a family, or at least has this sort of aggressive love for their children, so to speak. Yep. So we'll just move on to the next card there. Next card is, okay. Looks like this is 4 of Pentacles. If I'm reading that right, 4 of Pentacles. Notice the shape of the card. Now this might look a little bit more artistic than you're like, oh, just it's like, yeah, I can see the 4 Pentacles and there's some like things going on. But really take into account what is happening in here. What do you see exactly? You see 4 Pentacles, and you sort of see these sort of lines, almost like if you've ever like, well, at least I have. If you ever had like a rubber band or like a hair band in your hand, and you like try to like twist it around your fingers, make little shapes with it. And that's kind of the vibe that's going. You got these little things, little ropes and lines twisting in and around these pentacles here. So keep that in mind. Like I said, the card artist, put a little bit more attention in the card art than just making it look nice. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But we're gonna switch on over here to the Pentacles. Just have to bear with me here. I have opened this book so many times, and I'm also doing it one-handed, so all the pages are like crazy. Okay, hold on. This is 4. Here we go. Oh, I'm glad. Okay, here we go. I was worried I didn't have notes on this, but I do. All right. The lines. Here we go. The 4 of Pentacles represents possession and control. As you can see, each of these little pentacles has these sort of ropes sort of twisted around them in each other. They're all sort of interconnected in a way where they're together, but yet separate. Almost as if they're sort of bending these lines, trying to escape, but they're all tied together in such a way that they're being pulled back. It's like they're fighting to get away, but they can't. Hence, possession or control. Now, like I said, this is a contributing factor. This doesn't represent the main situation, okay? It may represent a small piece of the puzzle, or may represent a direct or indirect contributing factor. The 4 Pentacles first, it suggests material gain, okay? Stability. So you're probably thinking like, what? You just said like possession and control. What does financial stability have to do with this? Well, actually, it's really funny because these pentacles are in such a way, they are actually stable. If you think about, I know I'm bringing like high school science class back in here. If you ever think about the noble gases, they have just the exact amount of electrons that makes them stable. But if you add even one, Boom. Just the right amount. So in this case, there's just the right amount of I'm gonna call them rubber bands because that's what they make me think of, but like I said, they can be whatever you want. But elasticity, something that have a little bit of give, but it definitely pulls back. But there's no breakage, so they're stable. They're doing as much energy out as is coming back in. That is being pulled back in, I should say. However, underneath the surface, this card can also be a warning. Do not, or I should say, it could be a warning to not become possessive or controlling. If you hold too tightly on the material world, it will leave you rigid, stagnant, and displeasing to others. Consider wealth as a concept rather than a goal. Wealth can be at any level, and it's different for everyone. Everyone likes to think that there's a definition of what it means to be wealthy. And sure, you can say, "Oh, I'm rich in happiness, and I'm rich in money, and I'm rich in friends, and I'm rich in, all these things." But we're talking about material riches in this case, so just keep that in mind. There are different levels of wealth, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to agree with wealth having to be an unattainable, hard, difficult thing to reach. In fact, what people believe is to be wealthy is they tie it a lot to their work or their home life, or maybe, perhaps stability of life in general, that they believe that if wealth brings stability. But if you tend to follow along with a lot of the people who have a lot of wealth, you realize things are a little bit less stable than they think. So, like I said, make sure you keep wealth as a concept rather than a goal. That being said, don't forget that this card also represents possession and control. So make sure you're maintaining a little bit of leniency. Make sure you're maintaining maybe a sense of perspective in terms of things you can control versus things you can't control. Okay. You don't want to put yourself in situations where you're always going to be worried about something that can never be changed by your actions. It may suck, it may be the worst thing ever, everyone may experience it, maybe only you experience it and it's the worst. But if you focus your mind so much on trying to fix something that cannot be fixed, or say it's just a waste of time and energy to be fixed, then you'll find yourself wearing out very quickly. Basically punching a brick wall with another brick wall behind it. And that's a long time. So, simple card. Well, I say simple, but don't maintain possession, don't maintain control so tightly. Give some leniency. Relieve some control. And don't be so focused on money. Don't be focused on money on such that it is a focal point or a hinge on so many things. So maybe in this particular thinking about move, you might be thinking financial, which isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with being financially stable. Just make sure you're not putting yourself in a situation where you're either living outside of your means, or perhaps maybe focusing a little bit too much on the niceties or the amenities of what it would be like to move somewhere else, and outweigh that from other things that you may end up regretting later in life that you wished you might have focused on a little bit more about the other things and focusing about a lot of the nice things about this new place. I don't know. I'm just throwing out little examples here and there. I'm not trying to, paint you in any particular way. Just these are just things you should think about. There's so many different ways anyone could, view this. So like I said, I'm just giving a little bit of a start there to get your brain. Last card is we have another family card. It is the Daughter of Swords. Interesting. Notice the appearance of the card while I switch over to that. You with me? Where are their swords? Where are swords? Where are swords? Swords, what the heck? Oh, here we go. Oh, perfect. I landed right on the right page. All right. The Daughter of Swords. It's an owl sitting atop a sword. But just know that everything has a meaning. Got some colorful little lights around them. They could be stars. It could be memories. Like from Inside Out. I'm not sponsored. They could be anything you might think they could mean. Maybe it represents ornaments on a Christmas tree. Maybe it's a timely thing. Whoa. Okay. But notice how the owl is standing directly on the sharp part of the blade. Look at that. Why is it doing that? It's strange. Why would an owl feel comfortable about standing on the sharpness of a blade? I mean, you see birds sit on power lines all the time. Surely an owl makes sense for an owl to sit on a sword. No. What? Everything has a meaning. Okay. And the two adjectives I would describe this card would be honesty and insight. Honesty and insight. You're thinking insight, maybe I can kind of see that. But honesty, I'm not really sure what the connection between this, the art card of the art and the honest, I don't know. Well, let me explain. Think about an owl. All right. What is the sort of cliche you could say about owls? Maybe not a lot of people know. Maybe like a bit of an older crowd might know. Maybe like an owl. What does an owl sort of represent in pop culture? In case you don't know, class, it is wisdom. Wisdom. An old wise owl. An old wise owl. All right. In this case, the Daughter of Swords. Okay. She's a young woman whose honesty and insights take her far in life. She's very frank. Now, I know this might be really hard to grasp, but the frankness is actually represented by the sword and the feet of the owl. So the frankness is sort of like that jab into a part that you least expected. You wouldn't expect an owl to be sitting its feet on top of a blade, and you wouldn't expect a comment to come out of nowhere and kind of hit you in a place that's like, oh wow, jeez. So that might be a little bit more of a harder one to to be like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, I guess I couldn't understand that, but now that you explain it, you learn from understanding the card art a little bit better. Like I said, it took me a while to understand this too, so I was like, also thinking about owls, not only are they wise, but they have great vision. And you can think of that in this literal sense, they can see very well. Maybe in the metaphorical sense, they can see ahead, which gives the insightful aspect. They learn from people who are in this situation. A daughter of swords, maybe observing it. Maybe you're the observer. Maybe you have someone outside who's observing it. I don't know. But there could be an observer or someone in your life that is sort of never stop watching. Always there, keeping an eye. Occasionally, and this also ties in with the owl being on the sword, it's a burden sometimes for the owl to be so watchful. You know, it probably hurts to be perching up on the sharp edge of a sword. But that's figuratively, of course. This owl probably also notices small details that think, oh, maybe this could have gone a little bit better. But there's also potential for her to hold on to these experiences and maybe become spiteful and judgmental. Maybe you're the observer in this situation. Maybe you feel like in this situation you've observed things that has brought you to this decision to want to move. And maybe you thought, well, if this didn't happen, then that wouldn't have happened, and if that didn't happen, then that wouldn't have happened, and then this and that, and you go all down the line until you say, well, if all this wouldn't have happened, all like this, exactly how it did, in this order, in this way, I probably wouldn't have thought about moving. And then you start becoming spiteful. You start thinking, you know, like, oh, well, I would never want to put myself in a situation like that again. You know, if I see anyone else trying to do something like that, I would judge them, be like, wow, I can't believe they're letting themselves like happen like that. You know, obviously hindsight is 20/20, guys. Okay. Not the year. God. But the actual saying, hindsight is 20/20. No one knows what's going to happen in the future. It doesn't matter how long you have been watching, no longer how long you've been observing, no matter how many life experiences you have, no matter how much it hurts to do the right thing and being honest and giving advice, even the ones that give advice need advice. Because how else, if everyone was insightful, no one would be insightful, if that makes sense. Because that would lose all its meaning. Insightfulness would be ingrained within us, and then no one would be considered insightful because we all already are. So there are these special abilities we can tap ourselves into. Learning to be more honest. Learning to accept more advice, maybe. Maybe there's someone in our life, maybe in this case in your situation, where you're kind of hoping they say something, or maybe you're not wanting them to say something, or maybe you're just worried about getting a second opinion and you really just want to kind of keep this decision to yourself, or maybe this is a decision maybe only for yourself. But in general, not only do you want to be honest with other people, but you want to be honest yourself. You are yourself. You spend most of the time with yourself more than anyone else, okay? Just because you're in a room full of people that you might be dishonest to, doesn't mean up here you can lie to yourself, okay? Lying to yourself might be an art form, but it does no one any good. So find the time, find the space, find the moment to be able to, even if you need to literally look at yourself in the mirror, some people need that direct eye contact for a different person, even though it's you in the mirror, to be able to talk and be honest. Okay? Say the things you want to say, and you might surprise yourself. Might tear up a little bit. You'd be like, oh, it was a relief to say that, even though maybe it not necessarily impacted anything. Maybe saying it or getting to express something might feel a little better or cathartic. But in general, what this card represents is learning to know when to step in, when to give advice, and knowing when to be honest. Because like I said, this card also talks about being frankness, and also knowing that it can be a burden sometimes to always be so honest. Maybe, people might feel that you're judgmental, and people might think that people might be spiteful, against that. And maybe it's also hard that people come to you for advice a lot, and you don't always know the right things to say. And sometimes you're a little bit worried that things that you say might not be the best thing, or it didn't work out. And maybe it's that one thing, that one advice that doesn't work out for them, and they never do anything. Obviously that's a them issue, but understand that you don't have to be that go-to person that has to be the shoulder to cry on. You don't have to be that person who steps up out of the crowd and says, hey, you don't always have to do it. Okay. Learn when to find the space to step back, know when to step forward, and do this with yourself, not just in a public space or around friends or family. But understand that observation can be a little bit more dangerous than meets the eye. Sometimes watching can break a lot of assumptions than actually being a part. We look and we people watch and we make little stories in our head about people. You think, oh, I think I know what's going on in their life, or at least it's fun to think that this might be happening between that person, or that person's doing this or doing that. And, sometimes that can be a little nice, but if we're in a serious situation, or maybe around family or friends, or in an awkward situation, or we're trying to do something to sort of create a comfortable atmosphere that sort of makes you want to feel like you need to be that person. Like, oh, that person over there obviously looks like they need someone to talk to, or that person over there obviously looks like they need someone to, to step in and say something, like they're like, oh, I just got to step in. And there's always a time and a place. There's always a place and a time. But that's not every time. And that's not every place. And sometimes it's neither there, nor here, nor when, nor where. So, to sum up though, main contributing factor, entanglement. Find ways to stay out of emotion when making big decisions. In this case, we're talking about a move. So based off of this decision about moving, we want to make sure that we're not entangled with our emotions. We're thinking clearly. We're not making decisions based off of what someone said, what someone did. In a very emotional driven, high energy, high intense emotions, angry, sad, bitter. We want to make sure that we're level-headed, because the worst thing we can do in the middle of all that is make a bad decision for us. In the moment, we might think that because we're doing this, we're escaping from those high energy situations, that we're doing the better thing for us. And in the short term, that may be true. But what we don't realize is that sometimes when we're in those emotions and we make big decisions like that, we might actually be putting ourselves in worse situations in the long term. And then you might end up having those high energy situations a lot more often. And that is something we do not want for any of us. So just be in the moment, understand where your emotions are coming from, not necessarily putting blame on anything, because we won't want to put blame, because blaming is bitterness. Okay, let's just be clear about this. Blaming is bitterness. It doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. Blaming is bitterness. Remember that. Blaming is bitterness. Okay? Just focus on realizing, oh, you know what? I just realized maybe this doesn't even have to apply to the move. You know, maybe it's just like, man, I woke up in a really bad mood today. You know, it's carrying off from yesterday, and I'm not really sure why. And you think about it, like, you know, oh yeah, it's really because of that one thing that someone said yesterday, and it still kind of stuck with me. And then you think, like, you can literally ask yourself, do I like being angry? Do I like being sad? Do I like being worried or anxious? And I'd like to think that most people, I would think, would say no. They don't want to be mad. They don't want to be anxious or sad. They don't want to be in any of those negative emotions, because what that does is it creates a barrier between not only ourselves, you know, up here and down here, but between each other. We like to be happy. We like to be agreeable. We like to be together. And, you know, obviously some people are different. They like to have their space. But besides all that, the idea is we like to be in a state where things are stress-free. Okay? Keep that entanglement down. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to remove those things, because that's the idea of an entanglement. An entanglement is when there's, think about like headphones. Those headphones back in the days from iPhones or Android or whatever, where you put them in your pocket. You put them up all a little neat in a little lasso rope, and you put them in your pocket and you pull them out, and suddenly there's this big ball of wire. And you're just like, how did that even happen? So think about like this. Think about each problem, each emotion that you're experiencing is a separate thread or separate wire. Oops, I dropped a card. That is causing you struggle right now. And imagine you in this case, and each of those threads, the longer you think about the threads or the more they affect you, just sort of kind of get thrashed around you and tie you up in places and wrap you up into a little cocoon, or in this case a really messy mess. Okay. Sometimes it's not about removing, because it's going to be really difficult in some cases to be able to completely remove these negative sources. But if you can at the very least follow the thread and see where it leads, slowly untangling it, kind of like a little rope, or, you know, kind of playing with oh, okay, so this is, put it through here. Oh, okay, I can see how that might have happened. Oh, okay, I can see how that might have led to this. Or okay, I think maybe when I said that might have escalated, or maybe if I didn't react this way, or oh, maybe I just didn't get enough sleep, or, you know, you start unraveling it a little bit more, and you realize this whole thread that just comes undone here. And then you see everything from A to B, and you see, okay, so this is my emotion, and this is how it started, and this is where I am now. I can set that aside. I'm no longer entangled by it, because I can see from point A to point B. Obviously, not everyone's going to remember everything that was said. That's why it's emotionally based. It's not always irrational. But just being able to understand that there was a process, there was at least a start and an end, or at least how you are now, being able to know that there was a process that may have led to this, allows you to understand situations a little bit better. So separating those individually, why am I mad? Why am I angry? Why am I sad? Why am I this? Why am I that? And you can even think about this with positive emotions. There's nothing wrong with that either. Entanglement, okay? Learn how to untangle your threads of emotion. Okay. Then we're going to go on the Mother of Cards. Okay. Briefly, like I said, with the contributing factors, a little bit more brief. We have the Mother of Wands, very protective. So you may have a mother, paternal, or mother, parental figure in your life that may be a contributing factor. Maybe not necessarily directly, maybe not necessarily indirectly. Maybe this could be a thought behind your head. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm thinking about a person that may be affected by this. Like they may not even know about the situation, but they're in my head, they're in my brain, I'm thinking about it. Or maybe they are maybe they're directly involved. Maybe they're in a roommate with you. Maybe it's a parental feminine figure in your apartment with you that you're worried about. But just know that is a contributing factor. There isn't necessarily anything to say per se about it, like you should do this or you should do that. Just know that what contributing factor cards do is they sort of give a little more clarity about some of the cards that maybe you should focus on these things a little bit more than some of these other ancillary things that you might be worried about. Just a thought. Second contributing factor was the Four of Pentacles. We talked about control and possession and how sometimes that can lead to stability, like financially. You might be financially stable, but sometimes being financially stable or focusing on material wealth might actually put us in situations where we find ourselves to be a little bit more, tight knit. We find ourselves to be a little more straight edge in terms of, oh, you can't do this, can't do that, or that's mine, that's not yours, or don't do this, don't do that. Very controlling. Maybe in a social sense, maybe literally in a financial sense, sort of constricting, which no matter how much of the benefit that this may appear to do for you, understanding that wealth is just a concept and not a goal should really be able to lighten that load of control or a constriction on something like that, because being able to be a little bit more lenient on things, or being able to let go about certain things that may be like a little extra splurge here or there, or maybe an accidental purchase. I'm talking about money terms, I know, but like I said, wealth can be a little bit more about anything, but in this case we're talking about material wealth, so it could be money, but it could be anything physically based that may cost money or may have some sort of a value, but anything that people put value in a thing rather than a person. Everyone has a mixture of these. It's not necessarily saying that having value in things is bad over having value in people. The idea in this situation is to learn where to not be so controlling or not being so possessive, focusing too much on stability. Oh, I want to make sure that everything like this is perfect to a T. Focusing a little too much on getting everything perfect, just right. Leave that to the IRS, okay? Leave it to them. Okay, leave them for perfection. All right. For those of you who live in America, all right. Perfection is just as unattainable as what people believe achieving wealth. Okay, because no matter how hard we push towards becoming rich or wealthy, or at least the concept of what we think that is, we always find ourselves, oh, this is my next goal. I know that if I have this done, I'm gonna be all set. And then you have that done, or at least something adjacent to it. And you're like, man, this isn't as comfortable as I was thinking. And then you move the goalpost and you keep pushing your idea of wealth a little bit farther, and you end up realizing that wealth is not something that is something that stays. Obviously, it's a concept. It's not. Wealth is $20,000. It's not that. Wealth is different for everyone. And learning to know that, at the very least, that wealth I should say material gain is different for everyone. Being able to understand that everyone has a value in different things should at the very least give you an idea that everything has value, which means nothing has value. Not so much in that money has no value in terms of the economy. We're not going to get too convoluted on this, but just understand that when everyone has value in their own thing, it really makes it seem like the thing that you're valued in isn't necessarily less valuable, maybe sentimentally, but just understand that your values aren't their values. Everyone has something. So when someone sees something that you have a lot of and doesn't really think good things about it, because they think, wow, I have like 3 of these things, and those are really hard to find, really hard to get. You know, they think their material gain is the value in that thing. Just knowing that fact should help you keep an idea of stability is, or I should say wealth, is a concept, not a goal. Okay. And last but not least, the Daughter of Swords. Remember we talked about being honest and insightful, and in some cases knowing when to not necessarily step in to be frank. Sometimes it can be a burden. Being too honest sometimes can be a burden by being that person to come to for an advice. Always looking out for someone who needs help. It can always be exhausting to constantly be there for someone and not be there for yourself. Okay, so and also on the same tangent, it can always be very difficult to form relationships with people who you're constantly being in this case they use the word frank to. So if you're always putting them down, or always saying something about something, or having an opinion that sort of has sort of degrading tone, that's like, oh well, you didn't look good when you wear that, or you should have done that differently, or da-da-da-da-da-da. It either might make them feel spiteful or judgmental of you. And in that cases, they might even feel that you're judging them. And, well, yeah, not great. So keeping that barrier, or at least that knowledge of knowing the difference, of maybe not even necessarily knowing the difference, but understanding, like, I don't always have to be that person to step in. There's always those moments where you feel more led to be honest or more led to give advice, but feeling that obligation, unless it's your job or something, maybe like a therapist or psychiatrist or something, where you're constantly having to do it, but in a normal social setting, where this isn't something that use your whole livelihood, shouldn't feel something that you have to be obligated to. Advice shouldn't be obligated. It should be sought out for. That's what makes it the most genuine. Is advice that is genuine, is advice asked for. So understand the context, the nuance. Does somebody look like that they're wanting that sort of feedback, whether it's positive or negative? Does somebody look like that they need advice, whether you think it's good or not, whether you think you know more or not? Just being able to understand the conversation, like, hey, this may not apply to you, but I feel like this really worked for me if you do this, or this didn't work for me if you do this, or, I just want to be frank with you, people don't really like it when you say that, or, just being able to read the room, which I think is a really good thing to understand, is being able to read a room, which is kind of funny because it ties in with observation, but just understand, like I said, knowing when to be with binoculars observing, or when you're apart. Okay, sometimes people think that they get a better sense of people when they see the bigger picture, but in a lot of cases, people think that they get a better sense of people when they're actually apart. So just know that there is that ebb and flow of being able to step back and being able to step in. Step back, step in. Being honest, shut up. Giving advice, or just letting it go. That sort of the back and forth motion. Bump, 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 bump. Got him? Okay. I feel like that was a long reading, and it probably was, but I haven't done one in a while. So I kind of wanted to go a little bit more longer to explain everything, but I know you said thanks for the reading about let's see, how long is it ago? A little bit ago. So I'm not sure if you left when you said that, but either way, for those of you who stuck around to the end, that's kind of how they go. That was a clarity reading, I would say. I do multiple different readings from one card, I think to 4. I forget what I have set on my channel points. Like I said, it's been a while since someone's redeemed one of these. Let me double check. Yeah, so it's 1, 3, or 4 cards. So 4 cards is the most. So 1 card is very quick. It's either a daily or nightly reading. 3 cards, which is a past, present, and future card reading. Those can kind of go on a little bit long too, but they're a little less specific because you're not focused on something specific. But in this case, a 4 card clarity reading, they too tend to be a little bit longer because we're trying to see how they can tie into the situation a little bit, explaining the card, the situation, and how they might tie in. Other than that, I really enjoy doing these. So if you guys feel like you guys are enjoying them, like I said, I'm doing this for entertainment purposes. So that's why they are worth channel points and not worth money. I don't do tarot readings professionally or otherwise or any other time except for streams. So if you guys enjoyed it, feel free. I do tend to do not very many in a stream because they can take up a long time. So I try to space them out a little bit. Other than that, guys, it is a little bit past the time here that I would normally get off. So I'm going to go ahead and save the game here so that we are finished with that. And then I'm going to go ahead and check and see who we are able to raid here today. Let's see here. Oh, look at that. Hold on. Is this the new one? Not new as in like recent, but I think this might be the newest game. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is the newest one. Okay, we're gonna go raid Alluring Simmer. She is playing Mario Kart World. She tends to play a lot of cozy games. She also is an EA creator, I think is the term. I know there's different terminology like EA Game Changer, I think EA creator, but I think she lists herself as an EA creator. So I'm not sure if those are the same things. I've seen it read 2 different ways, but she'll play Sims a lot. She'll do a lot of early access for some of the packs that come out of the game. She did early access for the SpongeBob pack that we saw a little bit earlier. But right now she's playing Mario Kart World. It's just fun. Let me go ahead and change the stream here. That is not her name. There we go. So I appreciate you guys if you could stick around for the raid. I really appreciate it. I always like to bring a team of people with me if possible to help support some of my friends and streamer friends. That I support them and bring some of my audience members with them too. With me too, I mean. But with that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're on the world. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.